The CEO's father had just said he wished a grandson would fall from the sky. The next second, a cute little boy literally fell into his arms. The CEO's father took a closer look. He realized that the boy and the girl looked exactly like his son when he was a child. The two kids politely said sorry to them, then they held hands and ran off together. The CEO's parents reacted quickly. They immediately pulled a few strands of hair from the kids. Then they pulled one hair from the CEO's head. They handed all the samples to the assistant for a paternity test. The CEO's mother said she could tell just by looking at their faces. These must be the CEO's children. But the CEO didn't believe it, because their family genetics made it impossible for twins to be born. So he thought his parents must have made a mistake. The next day, when they got the paternity test results, the CEO was stunned, because the results showed that both children were his. The CEO's parents were overjoyed and moved to tears. They urged him to hurry and get his son and daughter back. As for why the CEO's children ended up outside the family, it all started 5 years ago. At that time, the woman was working a side job delivering food. She ran into the CEO at a hotel who had been drugged by someone else. They ended up having a physical relationship. Afterward, the girl became pregnant and chose to drop out of school. She didn't abort the babies. Instead, she decided to give birth to them, and it was the arrival of this pair of twins, a boy and a girl, that gave her hope to carry on in life. 5 years later, the woman took her 2 kids with her to work. She told the boy and girl to stay put and not run around. She'd pick them up after work and take them home. But 5-year-olds can never sit still. They ran straight into the restaurant, saying they wanted to help their mom. Meanwhile, the woman was pleading with the restaurant manager to let her keep the job, but the manager said there was no position left for her. Just then, the CEO walked into the restaurant. Upon hearing the woman's situation, he handed her his business card and said he'd offer her a job. The woman thanked him and got ready to leave. Meanwhile, the 2 kids apologized to the CEO's family. Then they immediately ran off to find their mom. They told her everything that had just happened. The woman was about to scold them for being naughty, but the 2 kids clung to her legs and begged for forgiveness. They knew their mom was working so hard just for the 2 of them, so they said the sweetest things they could to cheer her up. After hearing that, the woman softened and forgave them. At that moment, the elevator doors opened. A woman in red stepped inside. The woman immediately recognized her. She was the same woman who had driven a luxury car over her child's asthma medicine that morning. She stopped the woman and demanded compensation for the medicine. To her surprise, the woman not only refused to pay, but also started a physical fight with her. The 2 kids jumped in to help their mom. The woman couldn't handle the 3 of them at once. Just then, the CEO turned his head and saw the scene in the elevator. He immediately ran over. The woman in red tried to stop the CEO, but the CEO didn't even care to listen. He pushed her aside. The CEO's father followed and did exactly the same. The woman was furious, but could only stomp her feet. In the elevator, the CEO's father ordered that an announcement be made. Whoever could provide valid information about his grandson would be rewarded with 200 million yuan. Meanwhile, the woman walked home with her 2 kids. She wondered if she was being too selfish, unable to give her children a complete family. But the 2 kids comforted their mom. They said that as long as they were with her, they were already very happy. They didn't really care whether they had a dad or not. The next day, the woman arrived at the hotel as scheduled to start her new job. After settling the 2 kids, she began working. While she was cleaning, the same woman from yesterday showed up again. She accused the woman of being a thief. She said someone like her didn't deserve to work in a luxury hotel. She even claimed that the business card the woman had was stolen. The woman angrily refuted her. She said if anyone owed anything, it was that woman who should apologize and pay for her child's medication. But the woman wouldn't listen at all. She immediately tried to get physical. Luckily, the CEO appeared just in time. He pulled the woman away. Seeing the CEO eyeing her up and down, she thought he had feelings for her, so she quickly clarified that she was only here to work. But the CEO said he just needed her help with something. After the 2 got in the car, The CEO started a video call with his parents. They wanted to know what 5-year-olds usually liked, so they could prepare in advance. The woman said the little boy was mischievous and very curious about everything, while the little girl was more caring and considerate. Then the CEO's parents showed the items they had prepared and asked the woman if they were appropriate. The CEO interrupted the two excited elders and asked the woman to come up with a plan for him instead. When the woman got out of the car and was about to leave, the CEO stopped her again. He asked what kind of gift he could give a partner to make her more likely to accept it. She suggested holding a wedding ceremony to make it up to her. After hearing her idea, the CEO took her straight to a bridal shop. When he saw her in a wedding dress, he was momentarily stunned. The woman asked if this one would work. The CEO said the size was just right, so it would do. The woman misunderstood and said she had already worn this one. She told him to pick another, but the CEO unexpectedly said, except for the one she was wearing, he would buy all the others. That left the woman in awe and admiration. The next day, the woman was cleaning again. A furious guest stormed in, saying his new car had been scratched and demanded the hotel pay for damages. The woman in red looked at her and said if she found out who did it, she would send that person to jail. The woman quickly denied having anything to do with it, but the woman in red kept pressing. She even had her assistant pretend to search the woman's body and secretly planted fake evidence on her. She held up the forged evidence and insisted the woman was a spy sent by a rival hotel. She even brought the woman's 2 children into the situation. She recorded a video slandering the woman, claiming it was the children who caused the hotel's loss. Then she sent the video to the CEO. Meanwhile, the CEO was completely stunned when he received the message, because the kids in the video were clearly his own son and daughter.